In this video, we will repair an IdentiLynx HRS that fell. This also applies to the SR model. A result of this happening can be the autofocus no longer working properly. Here I am showing you what the autofocus looks like when zoomed all the way in and all the way out. You can see the camera actually does show an in-focus image at one point, which tells me we could use the focus far and near buttons to manually focus it if we don't zoom in too far, but ultimately this camera does need to be fixed. One thing we should do in preparation is back the inner lens away from the front. This will help us avoid touching the surface of the lens in a later step. First, we need to remove the front of the camera housing by removing the 3 screws on the front. The front of the lens housing is connected by some small wires, so once you have it open, lay the camera down on its side so that the weight of the front isn't pulling on those wires. Now for the fix. We're going to push the entire lens assembly straight back into the camera. Be careful not to push on any of the small motors that control the zoom and focus. At first you'll be compressing some springs, and then you need to keep pushing until the lens assembly snaps back into its proper placement. I like to give it one more solid push to make sure it is all the way in. The springs will decompress as you release, which is normal. Next, we could put the front of the camera housing back on, making sure the wires are not being pulled. Finally, we can give it a test. Here I'm checking that the autofocus gives us a nice clear image when the lens is zoomed all the way in and then zoomed all the way out. If you're still not getting a clear image, you probably did not push the lens assembly all the way into place. Once your camera is giving you a nice clear image with autofocus, you're all set for your next event.